Right, hello, Mr. Holmes again, and welcome to the second last video in the Microsoft Word Soft Skills section. And in this particular video, we are going to look at something called a section break. Um, Section break is kind of like a page break, but instead of just breaking the document up onto a new page, it actually breaks the document up onto a completely new section. And each section of your document can be independently formatted of the rest of it. So for the most part, okay, if I look at the page layout of my document so far, for the most part, okay, the orientation you'll see at the moment is portrait, and that's perfect. That's exactly what we want for the bulk of the project. But when I get to the appendix where I start doing maybe some testing and code listings and so on and so forth, particularly with respect to testing, we then have to start introducing tables that get rather wide. And so at this point, it's a great advantage to change the orientation of the page from portrait to landscape, because we want the page to be wider than it is long. However, we don't want that to be applied to the entire document. So to get around this, we will insert a section break. So we go to the, we can see you in the page layout, and I've got breaks over here. And under section break, you have an option of doing quite a number of things. But the best way to do it is make sure you've got some good space at the end of the page before you want to do this. So, for example, I want the section break to basically happen between page 7 and page 8. So I want page 7 to be section 1, and I want page 8 onwards to be section 2. So I've left a good deal of space. I can go back to home and I can check that I've got a couple of spare enters just to make sure that I've got a good amount of space in my document for Word to work around. And we go to the page layout section, and we are going to insert a section break, and we're going to say we want that section break to continue on the next page, and this is the best way to do it. You can use continuous, but it makes sense that from the next page onwards I want the next section to happen. Once I do that, you can see I quite clearly have a section break, and I'm now in section 2. I can now, once I'm in section 2, change the orientation to landscape. And you can see from page 8 onwards, my document is landscape, whereas above the section break, I'm still in portrait. So I'm going to go to my home section, turn the show reveal codes off, and I could now insert a table that's really wide for testing purposes, and that would make a lot of sense. Okay, so let's suppose I did all my testing and I get up to page 11 or thereabouts, and I'm going to want to, so again, put a good amount of space in, check I've got some space, and I now want to switch back to portrait mode. I would go back to page layout. I can then insert another break, and we'll do a next section page break. And at the moment it's kept the I can see clearly there the section break. I'm going to turn the show review codes off again. So this is on the new section, And again, I can now go back to page layout. I can flip it back to portrait, and you can see there we go. My document quite effortlessly now, depending on what I needed to do, can switch between portrait, landscape, and back to portrait as I need it. And that's the point of section breaks. So it's really to change the layout and keep the whole document together. The page numbering system keeps going, the indexing system keeps going, everything still works, it just puts them in different sections. Well, that's it for these section breaks. Hope you found this useful. Practice with it, experiment with it. Thanks for watching.